Glenn Rushton here with FightHype.com. How are you, Glenn?
Really well, Nick, and good to be back with FightHype.
Past 3 months, obviously a very tricky time, pandemic in the world. What sort of approach have you taken with your fighters so far in the last 12 weeks?
What we've had to do, of course, is like everybody else, we've had to comply with the COVID regulations, and so we've shut the gym down. Guys have been on training programs at home. I've told them what they should be doing at home and what they can do, and most of them have been good. They've been doing some training by themselves, and just recently we got back to a little bit of one-on-one training now, and we formally reopened the gym on June 15, but we are doing some one-on-one training now. Obviously social distancing, all the usual sort of regulations are in place, but we are just starting to get back into some one-on-one training with them.
A lot of talk at the moment, obviously there was before around Horn versus Tszyu, but obviously we know the fight's still going to go ahead. What can you tell us now when it could be, or where it could be? Closed venue or outdoor venue?
Okay, this is something we're discussing at the moment between the promoter, Dean Monaghan, and of course Matt Rose from Tszyu's promoter and so forth. So we're looking at all the options. We've got commitments to Tszyu, that's Tourism and Events Queensland. They've been very, very good to us for a long period of time, and we will naturally honour our commitments there. So we're working with Tszyu as well, but we are looking at the possibility that if we can't get a decent sized crowd in the stadium by the end of the year, we may need to look at taking this into a smaller venue, rather than do that. Of course, we may only be able to seat, depending on the regulations at that point in time, 100, 200, 500, who knows what the limit will be at that point in time. But of course, if we can stay there and run in Townsville at the new stadium up there, we'd dearly love to have 29,000 people in there in a full house. So that's our number one objective, is to honour our initial commitment and run in the full stadium if we can do that sometime this year. But if that doesn't seem possible, we may be able to run in a reduced number in the stadium, and that still may be doable. So if that's doable, then yep, we'll go that route. If that doesn't appear doable, or the crowd is so small that it just doesn't warrant the expense, the setup cost is extremely high in that stadium, we may need to then look at going to a venue such as the Convention Centre in Townsville. We're still most likely to run this fight in North Queensland, only because again, we want to honour our commitment to Tszyu.
With the government now with phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, is that looking like more like a September, October banner?
I think realistically, we are looking somewhere again between August and September, October, sort of in that sort of range, those 3 months. However, if we knew that we could have a full stadium if we just waited till November, we may say, for the sake of running in a small venue in October to a full stadium back in November, let's wait the extra month. So these are the sorts of things we've got to weigh up, pros and cons, and see which direction we go in. But so what the thinking at the moment is, ideally, in a perfect world, we go back to a full stadium. Okay, later in the year, if we can't get a full stadium, then we look at a reduced stadium, still in a stadium. If that's not doable because the crowd is so small it doesn't cover costs, then we may go back to a small venue such as the Convention Centre.
What's your message for Tszyu though? If Tszyu said last week he's ready, he can do it in the backyard now. What's your message to Tszyu though?
Oh, I think it's wonderful. As I said, this is a great fight. Tim's a really tough guy. He's got a great team behind him, and this is the best fight in Australia at the moment. Best Australian fight we could ever ask for. I mean, it's rare that you get 2 Australians that are like 5 and 6 in the world, both ranked there. One a former world champion in Jeff Horn, and one with incredible raps on him like Tszyu. So yeah, it's a great fight. Tim's a tough opponent. He's got a good team behind him. Sure, he's ready to fight. He's young, he's hungry, but we're up for the challenge, and we're very, very confident we'll get the result we're looking for.
Because both the boys would have to be edgy, because they both haven't fought since December the 6th and obviously December the 18th, which is nearing close to 5 months now.
Yeah. Oh, they're edgy. Like Jeff is looking good. I'm telling you, he is looking good. So I know Tim's looking good too, and this just it gets you salivating. My mouth waters every time I think of the fight. I love great fights. This is a great fight. It's a fight we intend to win. I believe we've got the strategy right. I think Jeff is looking really good. He's like a racehorse that's just freshened up, and he's raring. He's good to go. So no, I'm excited about it.